If you've played War Thunder for any amount of time, you know one thing is guaranteed whenever an event drops. The grind is real. Every event you'll see people unlocking the reward vehicle within a day or two, while everyone else is wondering how they're supposed to keep up. The reality is, most of us don't have 8, 10, or even 12 hours a day to dedicate to War Thunder. We've got jobs, school, families, responsibilities, and other hobbies. So the question becomes, how do you maximize your progress with the limited time you actually have? Today, I'm going to share the strategies I use to make every match count. These aren't magic tricks that instantly unlock the event vehicle, but they will help you earn more score consistently without feeling like you have to live in War Thunder for the next 2 to 3 weeks. Let's get into it. First things first, I want to talk about playing the objective. The biggest mistake I see people make during events is treating every match like it's team deathmatch. While yes, kills are important, kills alone usually aren't enough. Capturing objectives gives you a huge boost towards your score while also increasing your team's chance of winning. A lot of players ignore caps because they're chasing another kill, but those objective points add up incredibly fast over dozens of matches. Even if you're not the best player mechanically, getting to a capture point early can put you hundreds of points ahead before the fighting really begins. And remember, winning matters. Not only does playing the objective earn you more score, but helping your team win generally means you're spending more time earning rewards instead of sitting in the hangar after a quick loss. So if you want to grind efficiently, stop thinking only about kills. Think about what helps your team win the match. Another thing that I want to talk about is that every assist counts. Not every fight needs to end with you getting the final shot. Too many players tunnel vision on securing kills and completely ignore how valuable assists really are. If you damage a vehicle and your teammate finishes it off, that's still score. During an event, score is everything. Sometimes it's actually smarter to damage multiple enemies rather than spend an entire minute trying to finish off one heavily armored tank. You're constantly earning points while helping your teammates survive. Don't underestimate assists. Over the course of an entire event, those extra points can easily add up to thousands of score. Another huge thing that I want to talk about is that you need to scout everything you can. If you're like me and you play a lot of light tanks, scout religiously. Scouting is one of the easiest ways to earn free score throughout a match. Every successful scout gives you points, and if your teammate destroys that enemy, you earn even more. It's one of the safest and most consistent ways to contribute to your team without constantly putting yourself in dangerous situations. A good light tank player can rack up assists, scouting rewards, captures, and a couple kills all in one match. That combination is incredibly effective for event grinding. If your lineup has a good scout vehicle, don't ignore that mechanic, use it. Another thing that I want to talk about is playing with your friends. This one gets overlooked all the time. Playing with friends isn't just more fun, it's also one of the easiest ways to improve your win rate. Communication wins games. Having even 1 or 2 teammates that you can coordinate with makes a huge difference in the outcome of a match. You can call out enemy positions, you can cover each other, you can push objectives together, and you can share scouting information. And you can also recover from mistakes much easier than when you're relying on random teammates. More wins generally means more efficient grinding. Plus, grinding is a lot less painful when you're laughing with your friends instead of suffering alone. If you have people to squad up with, do it. The next thing that we need to talk about is you need to stick with vehicles you're comfortable in.
How to skate!
This is probably the biggest tip I can give. Pause. Events are not the time to experiment. Don't decide halfway through an event that today's the day you're going to learn a completely different nation or new tank. Don't build a brand new lineup. Don't try a vehicle you never played before. Use the vehicles you already know. The tanks where you know the weak spots. The tanks where you know the reload. The tanks where you understand the mobility. Confidence translates directly into better matches. Sure, experimenting can be fun, but save that for after the event. During the grind, consistency is king. The next thing that you need to consider, which I know a lot of you are not gonna like, is that sometimes the meta matters. This is not everyone's favorite, I know that, but it is true. If your goal is to simply unlock the event vehicle, grinding as efficiently as possible, sometimes you just have to play what's strong. Every update has vehicles that overperform compared to others.
What are they, vegetables or fruit? And what does that make, ketchup?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Maybe they're extremely survivable, maybe they have incredible firepower, maybe they're simply easier to perform well in. Using those vehicles isn't cheating, it's simply playing efficiently. Now, I'm not saying you have to abandon your favorite tanks, but if you have an especially strong lineup available, don't be afraid to use and abuse it during an event. Your goal is to maximize score per match, and sometimes the strongest and most overpowered vehicles help you do exactly that. The next thing that you need to consider is not burning yourself out. This might actually be the second most important tip of this entire video, if not the first. You need to take breaks. Seriously, grinding when you're frustrated almost never leads to better matches. You'll make poor decisions, you'll rush fights, you'll tilt after every death, and before you know it, you've played for 3 hours and barely made any progress. Sometimes the best thing you can do is step away for 30 minutes, get something to eat, stretch, watch a video, play a different game for a little bit, then come back refreshed and ready to take on the next battle. You'll usually play much better than if you force yourself through another miserable session. Remember, the goal isn't to survive the grind, the goal is to actually enjoy playing War Thunder while grinding. Now, the final tip that I really want to nail into you guys' brain, the next tip has nothing to do with getting more score. It's about making the grind feel easier. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make, including myself sometimes, is checking my score after every single match. You finish a match, head back to the hangar, immediately open the event tab and think, that's it? I only got that much? Doing that over and over again can make the grind feel painfully slow, even if you're making great progress. Instead, try this. Set aside an hour or two where your only goal is to play the game. Don't worry about your event score after every match, just focus on playing well, capturing points, helping your team, enjoying yourself. Throw on a YouTube video, a podcast, or even a movie in the background if that's your thing. Relax and let the matches come naturally instead of treating every battle like it's the one that has to earn you thousands of points. Then, after you played for a while, go check your progress. You might be surprised. There have been plenty of times where I've sat down, played for a couple hours without even thinking about my event score, and then checked only to realize I'd earned 50,000, 75,000, even 100,000 score before I even knew it. When you're constantly watching the number after every match, it feels like you're barely moving, but when you focus on playing instead of counting every point, the progress seems to fly by. Grinding events is just as much a mental game as it is a gameplay challenge. The less you stress over every individual match, the more enjoyable the grind becomes. And ironically, you'll probably play better because you're not putting so much pressure on yourself every single game. But at the end of the day, event grinding isn't really about playing more. It's about making the time you do have count. Play the objective. Capture points whenever you can. Take assists instead of chasing every kill. Scout if you're in a light tank. Play with friends whenever possible. Use vehicles that you're already successful with and you know you can perform well in. And don't be afraid to lean on strong lineups if your goal is to simply finish the event more efficiently. Most importantly, don't compare yourself to the people finishing the event in the first 2 days and burn yourself out. Some players simply have more free time than the rest of us. If you've got a job, you go to school, have a family, you're already balancing enough. Focus on steady progress instead of trying to keep up with everyone else. The event vehicle isn't going anywhere while the event is active. Stay consistent, have fun, and you'll get there in no time. If this video helped you out, leave a like so more people can find it. And if you want more War Thunder guides, tips and tricks, gameplay, and event information, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and good luck in the grind. Peace.